This Hard Knocks fight is an advanced amateur bout for the Hard Knocks Amateur Featherweight Championship.
It
looks like they kind of reached out with the intention to touch, and it was more of a distance.
What I was saying, when you guys kind of two opponents kind of neutralize each other.
He fell back, and his cheek on his face is red from the impact.
Nice kick by Luke. Not put his head back as much. There you go. He's about to punch. It's going to hit you.
Yeah, you can see Neufeld now trying to close the distance on Nguyen. But Nguyen, a very adept, as his head go back.
Yes.
And as a boxing fan from way back, I know that that's what scores the points with the judge. When you see the head move back, that's how they hear. There is strikes to the head of a downed opponent, though, which is different from the old amateur rules here in Calgary.
Love the catch. He needs to capitalize on it more. There you have a knee. Almost a sweep by Lucas, but not. He needs to give him more looks. It's not about the first shot. It's about the reshoot. It's about the next shot. It's the next punch. And there you have both gentlemen against the cage. This is where Lucas needs to start getting out. There he does. But he needs to stay strong, stay athletic, and stay in this fight.
The crowd chanting Neufeld's name as John Nguyen has him up against the cage. And so far, so good for John Nguyen in his second attempt here to win the featherweight belt here in Calgary. He's been landing the better of the strikes. He hasn't had the kicks, but he's...
Difference in the two, although they're both amateur, I think in many ways John Nguyen is showing how he could potentially be a pro soon. I think in many ways Lucas Neufeld is one fighter is very much an amateur, the other one could be a pro very soon.
Stepping through with another spinning kick was John Nguyen, and it caused him to fall down. The kick didn't land where he wanted it to, as Lucas Neufeld was coming forward, and he got him with his thigh instead of with his heel, and as a result, he falls down, Neufeld on top.
Yes, and this is where John Nguyen's gonna have to try and get some space. Obviously the fall wasn't of, like, let's say a knockdown or anything like that, but you can't let yourself be smothered like this and lose a round because of a simple mistake. And there you go, he's gonna try and go for a submission attempt. The attacks I like, but also I wanna see scrambles, I wanna see space, because if you don't have your hips like he is, then your opponent's just gonna stack you and it's not gonna get you anywhere like we just saw.
So in a submission attempt from John Nguyen from the bottom, and now trying to roll over another one, looking for that arm bar. He's got that arm stretched out. Neufeld rolls through it and survives and is on top, and here's an appreciative roar from the crowd.
Yes, and I'm starting to take back that whole potential pro versus am. Lucas in many ways is showing his own grit, his own ferociousness and technicality. He did not tap. He found a way out, and he found a path of least resistance, and now he's on top. So again, both fighters are showing potential of being professionals very soon in this championship amateur fight.
Yeah, you can see the welts from both fighters, especially on the legs of John Nguyen from here. The welts from the leg kicks of Lucas Neufeld, who's just trying to stop his opponent's breathing. He's taking a bit of a breather now here, and you can see that, again, still staying busy looking for that submission from the bottom is John Nguyen. But if you're gonna spend the better half of a round on your back, you're not gonna win the round. No matter how many sub attempts you throw out, the judges are gonna look at position over submission.
Yes, yes, and very much the case. And again, it's not necessarily the most eventful version of between the two differences in regards to rounds, rather. But a win in a round is a win in the round. And if you're going the best of 5, every round counts. And John Nguyen needs to get up and needs to get space, but he won't in the finish of this round.
Final seconds now.
All your might, and someone just says no, and again, and again. And this time he goes for the chin pick, and he's actually gonna punish him for it. He might, again, stand it up, keep the distance, and there you got the plum, the clinch, and just the barrage that John Nguyen has been able to put on the later 2 of these rounds.
And Lucas Neufeld diving again for the legs. Desperation setting in for these takedowns, because the strike taking a lot of damage here, but now landing a couple nice punches of his own. Neufeld now up against the cage. He's throwing away. He's going at John Nguyen, who might be in trouble here with just 30 seconds left in round number 4. Lucas Neufeld trying to get a win and goes for the takedown.
Lovely takedown, lovely timing. That was grueling as heck. He should have kept it, in my opinion, there. But again, being on top, finishing like that is something safe, but is it enough to win the round? That's the real issue. If John Nguyen gets up in this last little bit, it could have been for nothing. But here you have Lucas just attacking and swarming, where you have John Nguyen trying to get space and survive this round.
Short time left here, just seconds remain, and that will be the end of a nice left from Neufeld, and now a rocking right. That right hand has gotten through in all 5 rounds.
Baby blue eyes Lucas in many ways is bleeding from the eyes. He needs to not watch John Nguyen here. This is where someone could take it off. Great takedown attempt, but it needs the reshoot. He needs the next angle like you see. Here's where, there you go. That's what he needs to do. It's not the first shot, it's the second, it's the third. It's not the first punch, it's the second and the third. And that's why something like a kick has been very successful, but there's no follow-up, there's no entry before him. John Nguyen standing up easily, and Lucas playing back at this point.
And another nice drag takedown from the back of Lucas Neufeld as he looks to finish this fight and get a win against John Nguyen. Nguyen has had the better of this fight for most of it, but Lucas Neufeld looking to sink in the choke. He might have it here as John Nguyen gets to the 5th round in his second attempt to win the Hard Knocks featherweight title. And there it is. That choke is in. It's not quite on the chin. Neufeld using it to posture into the mount. And with 45 seconds to go, Neufeld is going to look to do some damage from the top. Put the emphasis on it.
John Nguyen needs to scramble. He needs to not let him just put on the hooks, not let him put on the chokes. He needs to want this. At this point, you've done so much to win this, potentially win this fight. You can't just give it up in a second like that. You have less than 30 seconds. You gotta move, buddy.
And it is under his neck. You can see John Nguyen struggling with it, this choke. Lucas Neufeld giving it everything he had and pops out. Neufeld will end this fight on top. 10 seconds to go. They are continuing to give it everything they have, looking again for the guillotine choke. Short time left. This fight is over, and I've got no idea who is the next Hard Knocks champion.
No idea at all. That's one of the best things and the worst things about leaving in the hands of the judges, rather. What a beautiful fight, and just ferocious by both.
And now, the official decision brought to you by RA Muscle Power. The winner by unanimous decision and new Hard Knocks Amateur Featherweight Champion, in the blue corner, Lucas Neufeld.
The 5th round proves true. Lucas Neufeld is your new champion. He'll be...
This Hard Knocks fight is a professional bout in the 140-pound division and is brought to you by Knight Paramedical Services in...
Underway, no touch of gloves here. Not unusual for Noah Ali.
Both fighters are very much feeling each other out. When Noah with the great attempt at that, you don't want to get the power shots from your opponent. And that's what, great attempt at control here. Taken down by Noah Ali, and he's got the head pick, the chin pick. He needs to kind of move forward, but at the same time, when you're on top like this, you have the vantage point to look at what's available. And this is where, again, early in this fight, you want to control, you want to smother, you want to impose your will.
A knee to the shoulder there of Corey Gower from Noah Ali. Again, just landing damage. Andy Social right on top of it to make sure there's no knee to the head. Of course, the full unified rules of MMA are in effect here in our main event.
Pride never dies, sir. Either way, pride never dies.
Noah Ali doing a good job of controlling Corey Gower to this point, looking for an opportunity, but unable really to turn this position into anything. And again, both men very adept at getting to the judges. Both guys, a lot of decisions on their record.
Yes, and this is a great back control by Noah Ali right there. And notice how he's keeping his opponent parallel against the cage. If you have Corey Gower against the cage like that, he can't use it to get a different position, get some distance, and move.
A nice body scissors here from Noah Ali on the back. And Corey Gower doing an effective job so far of defending. Those strikes often just used to set up the choke. And you can see there Ali trying to drive his arm in and sink it in for the choke. You can see Gower defending the hands.
And Noah Ali yelling to the referee that he's grabbing his hands. But again, it might not be a malice situation. It might just be, again, Corey is trying to frantically make sure that no chokes, no hooks are around him. And you know, all's fair in love and war. And to quote the great and recently retired Tito, you ain't trying if you ain't cheating.
Noah Ali on the back of Corey Gower now. Again, looking to find that choke, getting the arm around, more of a neck crank right now, but Gower effective in his defense, but those body scissors just not letting him go anywhere. Now Gower flipping around to the cage, trying to kick his way off of it. It doesn't do him any good. Grabbing onto the cage with his toes. Anti-social punching his hand, or hitting his feet to remind him to let go of the cage. And again, that body positioning by Noah Ali, just flattening his opponent out, holding him with that body scissors, not letting him do anything, being very effective so far.
Yes, very much so. In many ways, Corey Gower is accepting the positioning, and he needs to scramble. I know it's easier said than done, but especially this fresh, you need to keep on, honestly, just trying anything. He needs to start moving. He needs to start rolling like that. And instead of being flat against, there you go with Noah Ali with another body lock. It's going to be very frustrating and very painful. You're fresh. You feel everything a lot more. You're a lot more sensitive. The adrenaline necessarily hasn't kicked in all the way. But total control by Mr. Noah Ali. And, hey, setting up the next potential 4 rounds.
Yeah, he's got to be careful too, as Noah Ali now on top, now trying to land punches, and Gower again rolling over, but it's been Ali on top. There were a couple elbows that were dangerously close to the back of Corey Gower's head, but Noah Ali keeping them legal. And now again, just throwing elbows from the top, throwing downs from the top. Referee anti-social right on top of this. This could be bad time for Corey Gower if he doesn't get out of this in the next couple seconds. Although Noah Ali not able to finish him before the end of the round, but ends the round with emphasis as he...
Yes, going back to that kick, when Noah poses a kick like that, that's when there's a prime opportunity for your opponent to take advantage. Never admire your successes or failures. You ought to keep on moving.
So Noah Ali right back where he ended the first round, in control. Again, this round, it's mostly been Gower going forward, and he's landed more strikes, more volume of strikes, certainly. And that will count, although Ali does have the one takedown and is now looking for another.
Great takedown and great reshoot. The misdirection on where you're going. It's not about, like I've said, it's not about the first shot. It's the second, it's the third. It's not about the first punch, the first kick, because that can be seen a mile away.
So Noah Ali trying to pass now, trying to push that leg down and improve his position from half guard. Another elbow up against the cage. Again, Noah Ali, when he's had Gower down, although a nice press through from Gower there, to wind up on top now. Gower on top. We'll see what he can do with his opportunity here.
Gower is, again, swarming. Let's see, like you said, the opportunity. It's what you make of it. In many ways, Ali needs to get up and not allow his opponent to impose his will. That's what he's doing. When you're parallel against the cage like that, there is a lot less room to get an escape there. But what do I know when you see it happen in front of you?
Yeah, you see Noah Ali escaping and tripping Corey Gower, who quickly gets back up and now has Ali doesn't land, but he's trying everything. A check to inside leg kick. Now another kick timed perfectly by Noah Ali to secure the takedown.
Beautiful timing, and that's the thing that Gower needs to not let happen. You have all this momentum, you have all this victory, but the last thing the judges will see is your opponent on top of you.
Absolutely, and now Noah Ali on top of Corey Gower with short time left in the round, and that is it. Round with just under 4 minutes remaining in this main event fight. Another double leg takedown for Noah Ali.
Beautiful bread and butter technique in regards to, hey, I don't want to do this anymore standing up. Let's take it where I've been winning for the most part. Again, with Noah, he is finishing, like we saw in the last round, on top. He needs to just get a couple of these. He can even get up at this point. How demoralizing would it be to take your opponent down and just walk off and then go do it again? Because if he has the tank in him to do that for all 3 rounds, why not keep doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. Corey Gower has been on the bottom for most of this fight when it's been on the ground. He hasn't had much time on the top. And Noah Ali now dropping knees into the ribs of Corey Gower. And Andy Social is going to be right on top of it, making sure he's working. You're not able to just lay and pray your way to a victory here in the Hard Knocks Fighting Championship with Andy Social in the cage.
No, you definitely cannot. It's going to be interesting. Again, at this point, Corey Gower really needs to just not be parallel like he is right now. This is where, again, we've seen him slip away advantages that he's earned. And with a submission attempt, it looks like by Noah Ali, in many ways, this is not what you want the judge, especially in round 3 in a close fight.
Yeah, right in front of one of our judges and now showing it to the other 2, showing that he is going for the submission attempt. Now trying to get the back, but Corey over the first 3.
Ooh, great kick, but beautiful timing with the takedown. Noah Ali seems comfortable enough to take his shot, take his lick, but take the takedown.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you pay the cost to be the boss, and that kick was what he needed to eat to get in that position and secure the takedown.
You know it's true if it rhymes, good sir.
Noah Ali on top of Corey Gower in this Hard Knocks main event. Make sure you check us out online. Look for Hard Knocks Fighting on all your favorite social media platforms. And check Facebook for our post-fight interviews with all of our winners. Who will Kayla Spiess be talking to here? Will it be Noah Ali? Will it be Corey Gower? The next minute and 10 seconds will decide this fight as Noah Ali on top again in this fight for the 3rd round. Ate the kick to get there, but certainly seems to be worth it when you look at what the position has turned into.
Yes, in the overall accumulated top position that Noah has received. He, in my eyes at this point, is taking away this fight. If you want to even be generous and give it to Corey Gower, at this point, it's 2-1.
Now, the 3rd round certainly seems to have belonged to Noah Ali as well, as he steps up and stands out against Corey Gower here, who's only got 30 seconds to get a victory, as Noah Ali has done enough, certainly in this judge's scorecards, although not professional, to secure a victory here, with definitely a victory in round 1 and 3, and possibly 2.
Well, my pro tip at this situation would be Corey just going for the fences. He needs to get up, throw a submission, get something out of there. But at this point, it's all Noah.
Yeah, with just a short time remaining, Corey Gower throwing punches, but it won't be enough. Noah Ali postures up and tries to do what he can to end the fight late, and that is it.
Winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, Noah, the chosen defender, Ali!
Noah.